ESPN New York's Ian Begley with Armin and Levac. And Ian, Jimmer Fredette is a New York Knick, kind of. What is the plan with him on the Westchester Knicks?
They want to see if they can develop Jimmer, if they can kind of tap into something that three other NBA teams haven't been able to tap into. You know, they had success with their D-League operation when you look at a guy like Langston Galloway and what he's done. He came from that D-League team, and now he's looking more and more like a regular rotation player in the NBA. So, you know, they're hopeful that they can find the spark there that other coaches, other organizations haven't been able to find with a player who was one of the best in the country not too long ago coming out of college.
Now, I got to admit, I have no idea how this draft works because I remember Jimmer getting drafted 10th overall in 2011 in the NBA draft. How's the D-League draft work? Like, he can get redrafted?
Yeah, so what happens is they have a set number of guys who become eligible, make themselves eligible for the D-League draft. And, you know, Jimmer, even though he was drafted by the Knicks D-League team, he remains an NBA free agent, so he could be signed by any one of the 30 NBA teams at any time. It's not like the Knicks have his professional rights, so that's still on the table. But the Knicks do have his D-League rights, and you know he'll have to make the team out of the D-League training camp, which is considered a formality for a guy like him. So if he wants to suit up and play for the Westchester Knicks, they do have his rights. But again, guys, if any NBA team wants to sign him, the Knicks don't have any precedent there. They would have to do any bidding for Jimmer if they wanted him on a Knick roster. He'd have to take up one of their 15 roster spots, and he doesn't at this point.
So, Ian, the probability that Jimmer Fredette would eventually be called up to the 15-man with the Knicks?
Well, you know, it's I think much higher, obviously, than it was if they didn't have him in the system, because the idea is he'll learn their offense in that D-League system. They'll run the same thing with the Westchester Knicks that they do with the big club. So he'll have a comfort level of familiarity with the offense. If the Knicks have an injury, they can call him. They can call him up, bring him up. They would have to sign him to an NBA contract. But also, you know, they do have an open roster spot. They have 14 guys under contract. 15 is the maximum amount. So they have a spot open. If they like what Jimmer does down in Westchester, they have the availability to fill that, and they don't have to move anyone to do so.
Good scoop. ESPN's Ian Begley with Armin and Levac on 104.5 The Team. You're home for New York sports. Ian, the Knicks are 2-1 in the young beginnings of this season. What's your biggest takeaway through 3 games?
The offense is much different than last year, guys. It seems like they're pushing the pace a lot. They want to get up and down. They want to attack in transition off of both makes and misses. They want to see if there are opportunities early in the shot clock to attack the defense before it gets set. That's such a departure from last season when they were almost methodical and bringing the ball up slowly, getting into that triangle set and trying to get offense out of the triangle. Now they're pushing it. They're trying to create early offense. If they don't have anything, they pull back and they get into the triangle and they run their offense. But they're much more aggressive in courting opportunities before that defense gets set. I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing this team have a lot of success on offense through 3 games.
What are your early thoughts on the big rookie, Kristaps Porzingis?
Solid. He looks comfortable. He looks comfortable and confident, and his confidence doesn't seem to be shaken by, you know, foul trouble or if the ball's not going in the hole. He seems to still be able to impact the game on the defensive end. Seems like he's defending screen and rolls pretty well. He's getting his hand in the passing lane here and there. Derek Fisher said before Saturday's game that Kristaps leads the Knicks in deflections, so that's pretty surprising. So he's using that wingspan to disrupt things on the defensive end, and I think that's a good sign because there are nights when a shot isn't going to fall, but if he can still make an impact on the other end of the floor, that's a net positive for the Knicks.
At Ian Begley on Twitter, ESPN's Ian Begley. Beggs, Carmelo Anthony, is this a different Carmelo Anthony this year?
It's too soon, man. It's too soon to make any grand statements about what Carmelo's doing this year as opposed to what he's done other years. We do know the first 3 games, he hadn't shot well in 2 of those games, and the Knicks got a win in one of them. So the idea that the Knicks can play well when their superstar is having an off night is certainly a good sign. The coaches have praised Carmelo, his effort on defense. So that's something that we haven't seen in the past too much of. So let's see if that gets sustained. And he's also looking for his teammates a significant amount of time. He had 5 assists in the opener the same night he shot 4 of 16 when the Knicks ended up blowing out the Bucks by 25 points. So it seems like a lot of his shots and a lot of what he's doing is coming within the framework of that offense. But again, we're just 3 games in. So let's see how things play out here in November, in December, in January. And let's see if we're seeing the same things from Carmelo then that we are now.
I know it's hard to speculate because it is so early, but when you got guys like Charles Barkley who have always, hated the Knicks, saying that they're a playoff team, what do you see year 1 to year 2 in the Phil Jackson, Derek Fisher regime?
I think if you're a Knicks fan, you'd want this team to be competitive night in and night out because that's something they were not last year, obviously, and you'd want to see them in play for a playoff spot in mid-March, let's say, and then see what happens from there. You just want to see a level of competitiveness, a level of competence from this team that you didn't see last season. I don't think you should get too crazy with, win predictions, win totals, where they could fall, at the end of the season. Let's start with being competitive. If you're a Knicks fan, I think that's what you're thinking about early on in the season. If you want to create realistic expectations for this team.
Knicks beat writer with ESPN, Ian Begley, a buddy of ours. All right, Beggs. Knicks hosting the Spurs tonight. Tip-off 7:30 MSG. You're on your way there in just a little bit. Do the Knicks get annihilated by the Spurs tonight?
Hey, who's Pop going to play? That's what I want to know. The Spurs played in Boston yesterday afternoon. Does that mean Pop sits Timmy Duncan? Does he sit Tony Parker? Does he sit Ginobili? So let's see what lineup the Spurs roll out. Obviously, if Pop decides to sit some of those older guys, the Spurs are still extremely talented with guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green. They still have plenty of guys who can fill it up. But obviously, if Pop sits their big 3, one of their big 3, 2 of their big 3, the Knicks have a much better chance of winning. So, let's see what lineup the old man rolls out, and let's see how the Knicks can kind of bounce back from what was a pretty bad home debut.
Ian Begley of ESPN. Now, Bags, you got married over the summer. So Marriage Watch 2015, very important question. Are you still married?
In a shocker, yes.
All right,
buddy.
Way to go, dude.
The Vegas line probably had me at 4 months, but we made it to 5, and we're going on 6. So, hey, I'm beating the odds right now.
We're proud of you, man. How does she handle it when every night you go, hey, off to another basketball game, see you in 12 hours?
She's a trooper.
Yeah,
she totally gets it. She's my rock. So it's been unbelievable, boys, and I highly recommend you jumping on the bandwagon when you find the right one. If you're not married already.
I'm there, and Levac broke the bandwagon.
Yeah, I did the under. I did the under 4 months on my marriage. So
all right.
That's not true. It was a year.
See, that's why we can have such a versatile, fun approach with you, because we're both there, man. We've been there, done that, or in that right now. So we got you. We got you covered.
I need to lean on you guys for advice.
I wouldn't take any from me.
No, yeah.
I would not take any from me. No.
ESPN's Ian Begley, and he's married and somehow still has the best Knicks coverage around, baby. At Ian Begley on Twitter, ESPN New York as well. Ian, good catching up, man. Good talking to you, and we're looking forward to bugging you some more this season, man.
All sounds good, boys. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.